Hello YouTube! Sorry I cut down the intro, but I was so excited about this new, well actually this is not really new subwoofer, but it is a new subwoofer for me. It is a gas car audio, Great American audio gas car audio competition 12D1. It is a quite beefy beast. Actually I can take this rubber out from here because we need to check out the magnet in this video also, and later on in this video we will be checking out some of the excursions and some excursions and some parameters. Come on, get off please. So this is a roughly around 30 kilogram subwoofer. It is a big subwoofer and it priced at quite cheap actually. It is a 499 euros I think. Let me show it for you in here. So it is 499 euros here in Finland. What you get with a 499? Well, first of all, you get a really big magnet, a aluminium frame, nice big surround up in here, direct copper leads, true copper leads, and then a bass, a lot of bass, and quite big excursion actually. Now let's just dig in here from the front and check out these. The top surround here is around 40 millimeters times, that is should be around 25, 26, maybe 20, 27. So 26, I would say 40 to 26 millimeters. Nice, actually quite not foamy, but this kind of rubber surround here, and really easy. You can really easy to move the suspensions here. Now if I just put this on side here and show it you a little bit about this, has a little bit of problem. I found it out when I was flexing it full tilt. It will torque. In Finland we say torque, so it has these little bends all over here. I can probably show you here if I just press it really hard. You can see that on the edge here, you can see these small ribbons that will deform before it goes into maximum excursion. Now that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. It's bad when you have really tight tolerances. So if you have, let's say, a coil gap is so small that the coil almost hits it, and then you get these deformations on the surround up in here and the coil starts to move, then you'll get into trouble. It will rub it down or make a short circuit there and it will blow your amplifier. But when I tested this with a roughly around, well hold on, let me check this out. The excursion was around well 65 millimeters, 75 millimeters probably. Maybe even a little bit more. So the excursion is really huge and it started to deform, but it only made a little bit of sound. It did not get any coil rub or anything. So I'm not saying that that is a bad thing for this subwoofer. It is one thing to notice that you are closing to the maximum excursion of the subwoofer. If you want the subwoofers to be healthy, you are closing in the maximum excursion when it starts to deform. Now glue up in here is elastic glue and it's transparent. We have double stitching all around, glued from the other side of course. Paper dust cap, painted logo, paper pressed paper cone. Pretty standard here, everything. One thing I will just check it out if this has any like bad gluings or something like this. No, this is actually quite good. I can really push it from here and it does not take off. Only thing that this has a the frame landing is like so, and then the top surround starts from a little bit behind, so you have a little bit of gap in here. You can feel it in your fingers, but there's no no glue stains or anything, so it's okay. It's really okay. Then we go into the frame. Now other brands like Ground Zero likes to use this frame also in their X-Max series, which I think is the closest one to competition with this subwoofer, the Ground Zero X-Max. Now I have one thing concerning about this frame. It is a aluminium frame. and I can actually test it for you. This has a neodymium magnet in here, so I can connect these like so. But if I test it on here, it does not take on. So this is non-conductive. Well, it's aluminium frame. It's not steel frame or anything like that. So, but this is just too small for my taste. If you think about it, you have this really big, huge motor here, and such small frame in here. It is actually around it's around 2 millimeters only. Even this bevel here is thicker. This is like a 3 millimeters thick. Even this small bevel here is thicker than the frame in here. It only has 2 and 4 of these frames. So with that said, keep in mind that this frame has been used in many other subwoofers, and this subwoofer has been around for like over a year now, and the X-Max series also have been over a year now, and I haven't heard or seen any subwoofers that has this frame and this frame has been broken in here or somewhere because this is too thin. So even if it looks like that it's really bad, it still can help the stress of this big motor. So that's a good thing in this subwoofer, because I was, first of all, when these came and the X-Max series came, I was like, oh my god, how long will it be before they start to break down? And then they say that, oh, it's a bad subwoofer because the frame breaks down. But none of the frames, none of the customers that I've been contacted with, none of them have said that this frame has been broken with their normal use. So it will be okay. Trust me, it will be okay. If you are using thick enough walls, and when we are talking about thick enough walls, I recommend to use like over 25 millimeter birch ply, Finnish birch ply, or Russian actually. Russian birch ply is also good. But if you are using a 25 millimeters Baltic birch, it will be around this. So you take like 30% of this gap in here, you clock it up. So if you're using like 30 millimeters, it will be around half of the range here. It will not breathe between here. So you need to make a nice curve on the inside of the enclosure, so you can make the subwoofer breathe better, and it will help with the voice coil cooling and everything. Trust me, do it. Or you say, let's say this is around, I think it was 14 millimeters. Not this sort of like 12 to 13 millimeters thick. If you're using like 12 millimeter steel plate, connect this into the steel plate, then you will be having all this area open, so there's like really no stress about thinking if the voice coil can cool or can I get the loudest bass out from my subwoofer. Okay, let's continue. The spiders down in here are really soft. They are actually especially wide because they start around like from here to here. I can show it like so. Between my fingers are on top of the landings here, so you have like almost the exact same area that the cone will move. You have a spider down in here, so this frame is really wide and really good for this. Now we have double 1 ohm, as said on this page in HifiStore. We have double 1 ohm voice coil. It is a 3-inch voice coil, round copper coil, black former, and the glue seems to be black CA glue when it's held together. I just can test it, scratch in here. Yes, it is black CA glue. It is a really good glue for that. Everything is fine. We have nice beauty ring down in here. Hopefully you can see it, nice beauty ring, and then we have these bolts all around to keep the spiders intact. And now then moving on to the motor, this big beastie motor, we have around, I think this is around 25 millimeters or ish. Yes, about inch thick top plate and another inch thick back plate. On the back plate we have center hole here. Oh, I cannot touch on the other side, so the pole piece is probably really long. This has nice curve here, it helps with the cooling. Outer holes here, it helps with the cooling. Really big areas here, that helps with the voice coil cooling. Really good thing. Also, no debris goes through here, so the coil gap will be in safe. Double these direct leads on the both sides, and as you can see, they are actually quite flexible. So normally there are some of brands that use as epoxy or black CA glue to glue these really nicely together in here. That is at the same time good and a bad thing. Now the good thing about it that they are really intact there. The bad thing about it, if it breaks and you want to recone it or make a custom subwoofer, it is really pain in the ass to get off. But in this situation, when you are buying, if you are buying the subwoofer, this helps to manage the wires that they don't short circuit on the frame over time. I've seen a lot of these frames used with the glues in here, so when they does not flex, it will break at the point when they are the glues. So at that point it is really close to the frame, and it actually can jump when full tilting, so you have a little bit of noises or distortion or some kind of this really odd things happening on your subwoofer. Probably not with this one, because these are flexible, but they are really nicely held here together with a zip ties and covered up nicely with heat shrink. So even if this is wiggling around, it will be okay. Now I would recommend still have when you are putting these into enclosure, if you can, put them like on the wall and held them together there, so you don't stress the wires when something is flexing and moving. Then we continue on to the flex video. From flexing into the flex video. I have video in here at our Team Peränurkka Facebook page. I'm sorry that it is a bad quality. I could not find this video again. I'm really sorry about that. I needed to make this video much earlier, but hey, it's now here. And we are looking at the excursion. Now take a look at that. That is a really long excursion, and as you can see from here, and probably here, it will start to deform. So that does not mean that it has already reached its maximum excursion. It means that you are getting closer to it. Now the maximum excursion I usually make is I stretch it out as far as possible until it starts to make noise, like mechanical noise. Sometimes, actually never, I have had it hit on the rock bottom, not bottoming out, but some spiders or these tinsel leads or something starts to make different noise in the subwoofer. And when you have a deforming surround up in here, it starts to make a little shuffling or this rumbling noise when you are playing the subwoofer. That's when I usually stop the maximum excursion, because it tends to be a bit loud at that point. But keep in mind, I'm using this in free air, so I don't get any box rise or anything. It is actually really silent, like around 80 to maximum 85, 90 decibels maximum when I play these in free air. So if you are using these in an enclosure or wall build or something like that, you will definitely not hear the rumbling that happens when it starts to deform. Now let's look the rest of the video. I'm just stretching there and testing how much amperage I get go inside and how long the throw you can have with the subwoofer. And it is 65-70 millimeters. It is not the biggest I've seen, but it is huge nevertheless for this kind of 12-inch subwoofer. Now, if you want to see more of our videos, testing videos or parameters, please go check out our Facebook page. Somewhere in here goes links on the screen here, so you can take a link there and go check them out. But so far so good. Really good excursion, really big motor, nothing especially wrong in here. I'm really pleased that this is a really good new series of gas competition, and I'm really keen to see what they figure out next. What will be the next one when these go off? But everything so far seems to be really okay for a massive big monster subwoofer. Nothing is just jumping on my mind, but everything especially really good because the pricing is 499 euros. Keep in mind, similar kind of these subwoofers cost around 700, 800, 1000 to 1250, 1300 euros even. If you think about a big high-end the baddest subwoofers you can see in 12-inch subwoofer range, they are similar size with really big motor, really big throw, and really good voice coil power handling, and this cost like a fraction of those. So this is in price range almost unbeatable. Almost unbeatable. I cannot think about any better subwoofer for this price range, for these kind of parameters or this kind of features that you have on your subwoofer. This I really like this motor. It is big, huge motor. It has soft suspensions to get the handling in high-speed notes. And then now we'll be just checking out the parameters, what they say about this subwoofer. Let's tilt it around like so and test it out. And we are getting now 0.96 ohms. FS frequency is 29.61, which is lower, under 30 Hertz, which is really nice for the subwoofers. If you are planning to play low and loud, like really windy, hair trick style, this is a really good choice for you. A really budget subwoofer with a high quality components and features. These are especially good actually. These are a real copper. So this is thick copper. Only thing that this is a PVC, the coating here is PVC, so it's a little bit hard to bend, but this is actually really real copper, not some kind of copper stuff or something. These are gas competition on wiring. They are really good wires. So FS 29.6, QTS 0.51, QES 0.56, QMS 5.98. So parameters are okay. I will be recommending around maybe if you're using the whole 2000 watts. Let's go back in there. If you're using the whole 2000 watts for the subwoofer, 1500 up to 2000 watts, so a bit higher or even more than 3000, 2000 or 3000 watts, go smaller enclosure like 666 enclosure, 60 liter 6-inch port, tuning around 37 Hertz. But if you want to play loud, you should go around 100 liters, not on the 120 liters, because if you have a big motor, you should oh, sorry about that. I've been actually sick for a week in straight here, so these are my first unboxings for these new subwoofers I got here. So anyhow, if you want to make a really loud, low bass soundings enclosure, I would not go over 100 liters for a single subwoofer. If you get two, you can go like 180 liters, easily 200 liters, meh. But 100 liters per subwoofer and tuning at around 30-32 Hertz. I would definitely stay on over the 30 Hertz. This will actually play really good at the lower 20s, even in the lower 20s. I think it was like 21 Hertz when I driven it in. It did a quite nice 21 Hertz tone, and the FS when the things are moving and it does not have any box pressure down in here in free air. The frequency of the subwoofers goes lower at around 21 Hertz, so you can play really low bass with this. But definitely go when you're using enclosure. If you're just using one, keep it simple, keep it over 30 Hertz and around 100 liters. If you have multiple of these, then you can go nuts and put a bigger enclosure and then go lower tuning and just crank the poop out of them, if you can say so. I really enjoyed the subwoofer. Nevertheless, this is a really good subwoofer for the 500 euro price range. Definitely a good one. There's nothing wrong in it. I thought about it at first, that this is a 500 euro subwoofer, and it has a same frame than other brands and maybe even bigger motor than the X-Max series in Ground Zero or something like that. That this should have something bad in it. But it has really good voice coils. Actually, they are not dual 1 ohm voice coils. Oh, I should have been tested that, but hold on. I can show you fast in here that they are actually, I think it was 1.4 ohms. So keeping that in mind, if you are making a multiple of these, like a wall with these, with multiple of subwoofers, wow. Well, you wanna know why that comes? Where that comes from? It comes because I have these leads going like twisting pairs in here, and they affect when I'm running electricity in twisting pairs, and I have really strong magnet here. It goes like that. But you can see the RE, that is the resonance of the wiring going inside. That explains you that it is 1.47, and I think the other one was 1.43 ohms. So if you are using one, it will go around 1 ohm. When you are using them in parallel, and in series it will go more or less about 3 ohms or a little less about that. But it will be okay. It is a good subwoofer. It is priced properly. It is really dirt cheap for the features that it has. I'm definitely giving this a thumbs up, and as I had never seen these really in use. I've seen some of these in some small demo builds, but not a big demo build with these, and I'm being really surprised that why on earth aren't people using these? Big, huge subwoofers, big excursion, everything is really good, but then the pricing is low and people won't buy it. If this was priced around like 800 euros, I think people would buy it because they know that it must be good because it's cost good. It is a really good subwoofer, and it's really dirt cheap now, and I think it's the retail selling price of the subwoofer, so you will get maybe a little discount if you buy more than one of those. So that's about it. Thank you for watching this video. Like and share this video if you really enjoyed it and want to share the information. Please check out the bell icon if you subscribe, and check out our merch store. We have Basshead hoodies. Oh my god, I don't have any hoodies in here, but trust me, there is, and the link in there is shop.peränurkka.net. In description, multiple languages, Spanish, Swedish, European, well, English, Deutsch, and very many different language fan shop there, so go check them out. And we see you on the next video. Bye bye.